Hey, it's Monday, May 4th, big day in the Frank house. Well, because tomorrow our London turns 10 years old. She hits the double digits tomorrow. So we're going to do a lot of partying here at the Frank house tomorrow. Hope you're doing well. I am, because of the connection issues, I'm doing this off my phone, and I won't get into the details because my phone's all messed up right now. I can't see you or anybody. So I assume you're there. I'm just looking at the backside of my camera lens. Hope that y'all are here. You could be saying all kinds of funny things about me. I have no way of knowing. It's May 4th. These next couple weeks are going to be pretty interesting. For a lot of you this next week, these next 2 or 3 days are going to be interesting as you try to navigate. Are we going to be able to open up, and when? And if we can, should we, and how? These are challenging days. Remember, you are not in this alone. You're not in this alone. So we're trying something new today. We are posting this. We are broadcasting actually out of the Ryan Frank Facebook page and then sharing it over to I Love Kidmin. That's going to make it a shareable. This will make the Coffee Chat shareable because the I Love Kidmin Facebook group is a closed Facebook group. You can't share posts outside of the group. So we thought we're going to test this week, starting the Coffee Chat in the Ryan Frank Facebook page, because it's a Facebook page you can share from. We'll share it, I Love Kidmin. So you could technically start a watch party, or you could share this later if there's something that you think would help your ministry team. You could share this on your ministry Facebook page or your ministry Facebook group. Glad you're here. We've got lined up JJ Graves going to talk to you today. Can't wait to talk with JJ. Also, we are going to talk to Amber Pike. Amber Pike is the editor of Kids Matter magazine. That next issue is off to the printers very soon. I believe this week. It's going to be a great issue of Kids Matter. So we got a great lineup for you today on the Coffee Chat. Listen, I hope that today you will lean in on the Lord and take it one step at a time. I know to a large degree, as your ministry leader right now, during this pandemic, you have no choice but take it one step at a time, because you're just going one day at a time. By the way, do you have your coffee? Hope you have your coffee. You're taking it literally the day at a time. But even personally, in your life journey, in your ministry journey, as you deal with anxiety and worry, and you're tempted to worry about tomorrow, you're tempted to worry about what's coming up over the course of the next month, you're worried about what's going on next school year. What about the programs for this summer? Remember to lean in on the Lord one day at a time. I remember when the children of Israel were in the wilderness, and God provided their food. How did he provide that manna? He provided daily manna, just enough for today. They didn't need to worry about tomorrow. They didn't need to worry about the food next week. They needed to trust the Lord one day at a time. And if I'm honest, and if you're honest, we probably all spend a little too much time taking on tomorrow's worries today, when God wants us just to trust him a day at a time. So you don't need to worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about next month. Don't worry about next semester. Now, not to say you shouldn't plan and give it thought, but there's a big difference between planning and giving it thought, and being consumed with anxiety and worry and trying to control things that are totally out of your control. Lean in on the Lord today. All right, welcome. Let us know on Facebook. In just a minute, I'm going to get a link so I can, on my computer next to me here, I can see y'all and see your comments come in. But let us know in the comments where you're joining from today. Thank you for joining us for today's Coffee Chat. I have invited JJ Graves to talk to us for a little bit today. JJ Graves is so creative, and he is helping so many ministry leaders. JJ Graves is very humble. He loves the Lord. He loves kids. And if you have tuned in, or your kids have tuned in to either of our last 2 Kids Matter Super Saturday kids shows, you have seen Douglas, the puppet, the green puppet Douglas. This is all JJ's creation. And of course, I'm sure he's had some help from his family. But JJ is kind of the mastermind behind this thing. Andy, I'm not going to be able to watch this on, well, I guess I am. Okay. It popped up. I thought I've been having some Facebook problems at home as well. But there, I see it. Okay, I'm seeing it. Good. JJ, are you on with me, JJ? I'm kind of flying blind here today. JJ, are you there?
Yes, I am.
What's going on, JJ? Now, JJ, I can't see you right now. I always see the back side of my phone.
Okay.
So, and how's it going, JJ?
Doing well.
Is it? Thanks for contributing to the last 2 Super Saturday Kids shows.
Yeah.
That's been a highlight. The kids love that JJ puppet or the Douglas puppet.
The Douglas puppet, yeah.
They love it. JJ's put some of his videos on the new Kids Matter. Now I'm seeing you over on my screen to my left. JJ's put some of his Douglas videos on the new Kids Matter store over at kidsmatter.com with a Z. JJ is a huge help to us at MegaCon for the last several years. JJ has worked behind the scenes, backstage, helping us with the production of our general sessions and does a great job. But JJ, I think you and I first met, I remember you telling me this, at my church, right?
Yep.
Several years back. Tell us about that. Was it 2008?
Yep.
And that's crazy.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so back in 2008, I was part of a ministry team with what was then called One Way Street. Now it's known as Creative Ministry Solutions.
Yep.
And they put a team together, and we did I think it was an hour-long show that we took and traveled across the U.S. Performing that show with Dale Von Sagan. And your church was one of those stops. So we got to see a lot of churches and, get kind of a behind the scenes look at what people were doing. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was fun. Dale and his big black Suburban, right?
Yes.
Yep. Dale Von Sagan, boy, is just a champion in children's ministry. And it's neat that you were able to literally learn from a mastermind, not just with puppets, but just creativity in children's ministry.
Absolutely.
JJ, tell us a little bit about your backstory, how you came to know Christ, a little bit about your family and your ministry today.
Yeah, so I came to Christ when I was pretty young, about junior high. Okay. And actually shortly after that, I asked my parents if I could join the puppet team at my church. And at that time, our family we had family days was Sunday afternoon, and that was the day that the puppet team was practicing. So they said no, but a few years later, we all kind of started getting a lot busier. I was like, hey, can I join the puppet team now? We're not really doing Sunday stuff. And anyways, long story short, I joined, my parents joined, my siblings joined, and then we were all a part of this puppet team. And so that was our new family thing. And so my mom actually, out of that, she builds puppets now. She has a company called
Really?
Puppets. Yeah, so she'll build custom puppets. So she doesn't do a lot of stock puppets, mostly just people send in a picture of their pastor or a drawing that they made or something like that. And I actually built Douglas to sell at a conference, and I looked at him and I was like, I gotta keep this one. And I'm really glad I did, because it's been a fun journey with Douglas. So
when was Douglas born? How old is he?
Douglas was born, let's see here, I think it was before 2000. I think it was 2006 was when I built Douglas. And he was actually Douglas was on that ministry team that we took to your church.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah. And so part of the show was Douglas talking to Trent Black, who's doing some cool stuff these days too. So I was doing live stuff with Douglas for kind of a long time. I was still kind of a part of the puppet team all through high school, but started doing some of my own stuff, just a little going short performances with Douglas. And then in 2012, I started a YouTube channel with Douglas, kind of thinking that it would sell some DVDs having a YouTube channel, but DVDs, people weren't really buying many of them, but a lot of people were watching the videos on YouTube. And so just recently, just last year, I went into doing Douglas Talks full time. So now we were doing one video every 6 months or so. But now we've got a new video with Douglas every Monday. And it's been pretty cool seeing what God's doing with the ministry.
That's neat. And some of the videos are on Kids Matter, but you've got a whole website, and is it douglastalks.com?
Yes, sir. Yep, Douglas Talks.
Douglas. So Andy, maybe drop that link into the comments for us, and go check that out. Well, first of all, you still have the YouTube channel, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So find Douglas Talks on YouTube and subscribe. And then the cool thing about the Douglas Talks on your store is you can download those, and you have the license to use those in your ministry and stuff, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and now we've also broadened that to, you can use them on your live streams and even YouTube channels, or any way that you're reaching your church. We want to make sure that you're able to do that with.
I love it. So let's talk about puppets for a minute.
Yeah.
In a digital world, are puppets still effective? Yes or
yes.
No?
Yes. Short answer is yes.
I figured you would say yes. Tell us why.
So, I mean, for one, I just want to say I've been, all the stuff with the social distancing and the COVID-19 stuff has been really hard for churches. But one of the things that I've been really excited about is all this content that people are making for their churches is now visible to the rest of us. People were making videos, but they were just using them in-house. And now they're making those same videos and putting them online. And so we're seeing a lot more puppets, like a lot of them. And a lot of them are really, really good. I'm so excited to see them out and about now instead of just stuck in the church building.
I love that.
But as far as like the efficacy of puppets right now, I mean, probably the most famous cultural icon in the last year has been Baby Yoda, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody, or the child, if you want to get technical. And actually, it's May the 4th today, so it's appropriate that we talk about Baby Yoda. And not just the Mandalorian, the show where Baby Yoda was in, but we're seeing all over the place in not just churches, but in culture in general. We're seeing kind of a turn back towards practical effects, and that includes puppets for sure. They thought about doing a CGI Baby Yoda, but they, I think, chose wisely in making it a puppet. There's something physical and tangible about a puppet, even over video, that you just can't replicate with cartoons or CGI or anything like that.
Yeah.
And it is different though. Puppetry is changing. It's not so much changing, what the puppet looks like, but how we use them is drastically changing.
Yeah. So talk to us about that. What do you mean by that?
So, like I said, when I started with puppetry, I joined the puppet team at my church. And there was a time where the puppet team was huge. I went to a conference when I was younger that was 1,000 people that were there just for puppetry. That's it. Christian puppetry conference.
And by the way, I've been to some of those, and they do. I remember Dale Von Sagan used to do competition, like who can hold their hand up the longest.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And man, anyway, that was a rabbit trail. But so tell us about that. How you puppet teams.
Yeah. So and the puppet team is awesome. I love the puppet team, but there's so few churches that are able to use that model still. People are just getting so busy, and budgeting is also pretty tight with churches, and has been long before all this stuff. But it was great at the time because it was not just a ministry to the people that you were putting the show together. So basically what you'd do is you'd have a team of kids, high schoolers often, that would put together a show, like half-hour to an hour show, and then you'd take that and travel to nursing homes, after-school programs, camps, that sort of thing. And it was really cool because it was a ministry not just to the people that were being shown the performance, but it was a ministry to those kids also.
Yes.
It was awesome, and it still is awesome for the churches that can pull it off. But there are so few churches that are still doing that these days, and so that led a lot of people to say, well, time to throw away your puppets. You watch the puppet team start to descend, and it's like puppets are done. And it's really not that they're done. It's just that things are changing necessarily. Instead of having a very large team of sort of mildly trained puppeteers with lots of puppets, I'm seeing a lot more churches that have 1 or 2 highly trained puppeteers with very high quality puppets that are building a character that is building relationships with those kids, a character that those kids can get excited about and that they can look forward to. And that's the thing that we're seeing work really well in churches right now with puppets. I've seen several churches that, their puppet was mostly just self-contained in their congregation, but now with COVID-19, they're putting that stuff online, and it's really good stuff. It's pretty cool to see.
I love that, because maybe someone who's watching this coffee chat, either live with us now or you're catching this later, maybe in your mind, when you think puppet ministry, you either think one extreme is this huge puppet team with elaborate puppets and sets, or the other extreme of like, a sock puppet or something that maybe seems a little cheesy. But you could pull this off either yourself or find a kid or a volunteer that has some creativity and interest in this.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be a full-fledged team. What would you say, JJ, to someone who's thought about using puppets more? Maybe they have some puppets around the church that really aren't getting used. What would you say, how would you encourage them to, hey, get that? What are some things you would encourage them to do to get that puppet out and start using it? Like some practical next steps. What could they start doing that's not super intimidating, but might be effective?
Well, I mean, the simple answer to that is just start. The more you produce, the more you make. And this is true of most creative ventures. The more you make, the better you get at it. Any kind of creativity is going to take like a little bit of risk, any creative venture. And so people often will say, oh, I can't do puppets, or I can't sing, or I can't whatever. And it's not so much that you can't, God made all of us creative. It's more a willingness to play, a willingness to try.
Gotcha.
So, there's good training out there. But I would say start soon.
Start. That's a good point.
Instead of being like, well, I need to be a master puppeteer to try to make something. You don't. You can become a master puppeteer by making things. I was saying earlier on the Douglas Talks YouTube channel, we've actually, next week will be 150 episodes.
Wow.
But I was doing. Oh, thank you. I was doing like one video every 6 months. It's like 5-minute videos. And it's because I wanted it to be perfect. It had to be perfect. And they weren't. No matter how hard you try, it's not going to be perfect. And I can tell you that the videos I'm doing now are much better than the videos I was doing then. I was spending 6 months. Now I'm just spending a week. And the ones I'm spending a week on are better because I just committed to make more videos.
Yeah. I love it.
Just naturally.
You just got to do it. And I think you're right. The more you do it, the more comfortable you get, the funner it becomes, the less intimidating. JJ, are you doing any do you train?
Yeah. So I do like traveling where I'll go out and actually like work with a team, whether it's, they're still doing the big puppet team, which there are a few churches that are doing that, or whether it's just a smaller team and maybe they don't even have any puppets yet. And they're like, we want to do this, but we don't know where to start. I totally help with that sort of thing. And I've got a couple of training videos right now. I'd like to do a lot more. It's been a little crazy right now with COVID-19. Douglas is a lot busier than he was. But, I've got a training video that just helps with the basics, like the kind of the fundamentals of puppetry, and then a really short one that's just like a crash course, like watch this 10-minute video to not look terrible.
I love it. Well, JJ, you're the real deal. And I brag you up a lot. If I was going to invest in somebody, it would be JJ Graves, because you are so creative, you are passionate, you are humble. You just love the Lord. You are the real deal. So I love KidMin. go check out, if you're watching live or if you're watching this later, go check out douglastalks.com. Get familiar with JJ's ministry. If you have any questions, send JJ an email, find him on Facebook. He is very responsive. He'll help you. He will encourage you. If you need to pick his brain on anything, please do that. JJ, I'm speaking for you. I assume that's okay.
That is absolutely okay. Please do. I love brain picking.
JJ, thanks for joining me today, and keep up the great work.
Thank you very much.
Douglastalks.com. Go check it out. I love Kid Men. These videos are videos that kids really, really connect with and love. And if JJ can serve your church anyway, I know he would love to do that. So I hope that encouraged you. Y'all are such creative people anyway, but some of you've had some puppets collecting dust, and maybe it's time to get that puppet out, let that puppet start leading some songs, joining you on your next Zoom meeting, making some announcements. Get creative. I know that you can do that. Hey, we are working hard on the next issue of Kids Matter magazine. We could not do Kids Matter magazine without the amazing team that God has pulled together. And the one who gets the most kudos for these beautiful issues of Kids Matter magazine, it's Amber Pike. So Amber, thanks for joining me today.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Amber? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, doing well. How's life in the Pike household during this pandemic?
Exhausting. The 3-year-old has decided to never nap again, so the days are really long.
Lovely. Yeah. So your mom time is what, like 9 or 10 at night till morning?
Until I
your
fall
time.
asleep. Yeah.
Yes. Well, Amber, I know you've been working super hard on this next issue of the magazine. Tell everybody what's coming, please.
So this is our summer issue, and we have some really awesome stuff in there. We have a great article on special needs, and this is by Stephen Hunsley, and it's
nice.
The title of it is that it's not an elective, it's a requirement. Excellent article. Ken Ham from Answers in Genesis has a great article. We have an article from Larry the Cucumber. I'm very excited about that.
This is big stuff. So let's pause for just a second. So Doc Hunsley, who is one of the gurus in special needs ministry, is writing an article. It's not an elective. Special needs ministry anymore is not an option. And then don't miss Ken Ham. That is the Ken Ham, the founder of the Creation Museum, the Ark Encounter, has written an article for you, the children's ministry community.
Yes.
And this is not a repurposed article from his magazine. He wrote something for Kids Matter magazine, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, all about teaching kids apologetics.
I love it, which is definitely a passion point of theirs. And then Larry the Cucumber, which his name is Mike Lorinsky or Lazowski. What is it?
Norwalki.
I'm
probably saying it wrong.
Mike Lazowski's on Monsters Inc. Not him. What's that article about?
So he wrote it with Amy Parker. They both are authors, and they have a podcast together for parents. Nice. And it's just equipping parents with resources to lead their kids. So they wrote an excellent article to children's ministry leaders. Nice. And it talks about different resources that there are to equip kids, but that really one of the greatest resources other than mom and dad is the children's ministry leaders. It is a beautiful article.
Now, Amber's going to tell us some more, but first, Andy, if you'll drop a link in. Some of you are not, I'm looking at a couple issues of Kids Matter. This is one that's laying up top, so I'll grab it. This is actually last summer's issue. If you aren't subscribed to Kids Matter magazine, you need to get subscribed. I tell people that this is the must-have go-to if you're a children's ministry leader. I love Kid Men. I love our Facebook group. I love it that so many of you are getting text messages from me. I love it there are so many great resources. I'm super pumped about the Kids Matter website, the new website. But listen, and some of you have been subscribed since day one, which was 15 years ago, which amazes me. I got a picture from somebody, Amber, last month that showed me on her shelf like this many Kids Matter magazines. She subscribed all these years. This is a beautiful magazine. There is a digital, you get a digital copy, but it is a print magazine that comes to your mailbox. And it's a great way to stay connected, not only to the thought leaders and influencers in children's ministry, but it'll keep you up to speed on trends, on what are the hot new resources that churches are using right now in their children's ministry. Mm-hmm. You need to get subscribed. All you have to do is go to kidsmatter.com, put a Z in there, just like this, Kids Matter. And at the top of the page, there's a button that says Kids Matter Magazine. You click it and subscribe. It's as easy as that. And if you subscribe this week, you'll still get this next issue, the new issue, in the mail, but you have to subscribe this week. Amber, what else is coming in the next issue? Tell us a few more of your big things you've got lined up.
Okay, we have another great article by Derek Jones. He is a multi-site minister, and it is a great article on what family is your priority.
On what family is your priority?
Mm-hmm. Is it your church family or your personal family?
Ooh.
It's a great article that might kind of hit home with some people.
Yeah, I think that's going to hit home. Yeah. Derek Jones is in the Atlanta area, multi-site kids pastor. They're doing an amazing, amazing job. What else you got?
We also have a brand new section. We're debuting the new Parents Matter section in Kids Matter Magazine, which we will put things that you can send home to your parents in your ministry.
Love it. Brand new section of the magazine, Parents Matter. One or two other highlights, Amber.
We have some great articles we have one from Kid Check on safety.
Okay.
We have some from Plan to Protect. Great Commission publication. It's chock full of great stuff. Plus, we have 2 pages of K reviews this time. Some brand new products.
Now, one thing that we put in the K review is, Amber, I know you won't want to talk about this because you're too humble, but you just you just had a new book published. Congratulations. Yeah. Tell us about it.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's with Rose Publishing. And it is Exploring the Bible Through History. It is hopefully one of 2 timeline lesson books for kids. Rose Publishing has this big, huge 10-foot Bible timeline that's one of the only ones on the market. And this is a lesson book that goes through the Bible. It connects all the Bible together story-wise. It has beautiful artwork with reproducible coloring pages, engaging lessons with so many activities. It would fill up more than your hour or 2 of service. It's pretty amazing.
Well, congratulations. Beautiful looking book. Is that book something that can be purchased now, or is it in pre-order? Or how?
Yeah, it came out last month. So you can go to Amazon. Okay. You can go to Rose Publishing, Christian book, anywhere books are sold. Exploring the Bible Through History.
Well, drop a link, even when we're done. Drop the link in the comments to that book. And let's give one away to somebody.
Yes.
If you are currently a subscriber to Kids Matter Magazine, or you are going to subscribe today. Okay, if you're currently a subscriber or you're going to subscribe today, leave a comment on Facebook and say, I'm a Kids Matter Magazine subscriber. And Amber, maybe at the end of the day, you randomly pick one and announce the winner in this thread. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds great. And then you'll get a message from me and I'll get your address and I will ship you a big old book.
Love it. Love it. Amber, thanks for joining us today. Thanks for all your work on Kids Matter Magazine. It's going to be a great summer issue. Thanks so much.
It is. It goes to the printer in a week. So you'll get it at the end of the month.
That's going to be awesome. Amber, thank you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Well, Andy, this has been a good chat today. I love talking with Amber. Amber's so creative. She does such a great job putting together the Kids Matter Magazine. Super excited about this summer issue and had a great conversation with JJ Graves. So thank you so much for being here today for our coffee chat. Listen, if you have a question for me and you want to jump on the coffee chat, or if you have a question and you'd rather not jump on the coffee chat with me on Zoom, but you'd like me to answer your question, text that question to 833. Somebody will drop this link or drop this number into the comments. Text me at 833-792-6372. 833-792-6372. Before I bounce, I want to remind you that if you are looking for some Mother's Day games for Zoom, we've got some new ones on kidsmatter.com. Put a Z in there, kidsmatter.com. We've got 3 great games. Let me pull up the website on my screen. One of them is called Famous Moms of the Bible. It's an on-screen quiz. One of them is called Go Get It. It's a Mother's Day quarantine edition of this game, where kids are given something that relates to their mom on Zoom. They have to run and go get it and bring it back. So they do this at home. It's all video driven. It's a fun game. And then we have a new game on there called More or Less. It's a Mother's Day edition. Just go to kidsmatter.com and scroll down on the homepage and you'll see them right there under seasonal. Some great Mother's Day stuff to help you if you're going to live stream or Zoom with your kiddos this week. All right, I'm going to wrap up. Thanks for joining me for the coffee chat today. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. I love KidMin. Keep up the great work. You're blessed. Love you all. I'm super proud of you. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Bye.